Well, hello there, and welcome to our spooky serenade of you for your sensibilities. This is Christmas, and it's the ghost story time, and today we're reviewing Charles Dickens and some other writers, two other writers. I think there's three that
Uh,
that are all coming together with each one writing a page and then passing it on to the next person, all edited together by Charles Dickens, excuse me. And I just think that you will enjoy the story of the House Follett. And this is the story of a great getaway house, a nice vacation. We both have, for both of our podcasts this weekend, we are reviewing stories, ghost stories about houses that are horror houses. Really, this one is about a house that sits on a beach, sort of an ocean front, and it's also in a village, so the road goes between that and the house across the street where some of our protagonists live. And it's about a it's about it's about a house that is cursed, that um sort of eats our people alive. Like they find people in various parts of the place, and oh, it's just gnarly. And then there's the whole community seems to be involved in a sort of Wicker Man way, kind of way. Anyway, it's pretty dang scary. And joining me today is Lee from Hull, who may have a scary surrounding, being by the sea. And are your fellow city dwellers as eerie as all of this? Inquiring minds want to know. Lee,
yes.
that's what I thought.
Yeah. A house to let. As you say, three novelists and one poet. So four authors in total. Each took in turns and co-wrote chapters.
Chapters, not pages. You're right.
Um, Charles Dickens, Wilkie Collins, Elizabeth Gaskell, and I forgot her first name, but Proctor. Um, yeah, it's a story of a woman who buys a house and notices across the street a derelict old house. And while she's looking at there, she notices an eye looking through a hole in the curtain, which, the house is supposed to be empty, derelict. So she gets the help of her friends, Jabez Jabber and her manservant Trottle, to investigate further of the house. And when it all comes to it, the house is part of her family. It's owned by a relative, and it's got some dark stories and secrets. And, and this is what the story entails, by people discovering these stories, what's happened. Um, it's an interesting tale. Great setting, of course. It was written, Charles Dickens and like that. So you've got the old Victorian essence of the story.
Oh,
Um,
did you enjoy that? That is your sort of favorite epic of storytelling, right?
yeah, I mean, I love Dickens. I just love it. All that style. I just love it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So each sort of chapter varies from one before, which is understandable when you realise it's a different person who's written that chapter. So there's different styles of writing, but all woven together, edited together by Charles Dickens. Um, yeah, it's an interesting thing. This one, you've got who's the main character? What's her name? Sophie Nisba.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
a name.
what a name. Yeah, she's the one who played by Marcia Warren. She she's the one who wants the house investigating. Um,
Yeah.
and then you see you get different tales. You get the tales of uh, the the circus thing with the what's his name, the dwarf Mr. Chops,
Mr. Chops.
played brilliantly by Warwick Davis,
Yeah.
who we know. If any sci-fi fandom, we all know from Star Wars, Willow. Um,
He's in Willow, the new television series.
yeah, yeah. So he
Quite a good actor in that as well.
he plays the little Mr. Chops. That
Yep.
that section of the story I thought was quite interesting because that would just totally changed direction.
Uh-huh.
Sort of came back again. Um, yeah, it's a story of, as I say, of being a small world. When you find out the house across the street is owned by a relative of yours, and in the end, you get to own that house.
Yep. That's true.
So yeah, it's a dark. I wouldn't say creepy. It's not creepy. A dark tale of of family, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interest. I've never read this, so I don't know how much this radio play differs from the original script or the book. So, but I did enjoy this. I mean, I listened to the omnibus edition, but I think it's about 5 episodes long. So,
Yeah.
but an interesting listen.
Yeah, it's not very long. I mean, it's only like an hour and a half.
Mhm.
And it's and it isn't like a horror story. It's like it is spooky and eerie though, because the house is because the tales told about the house by the it, just like in the Torchwood story that we just reviewed. There are differing stories about this. One is really very scientific, and one is very metaphysical. You know, about the eye and about the whole resonance of the home and stuff, and the house being the way it is. But anyway, I just think that's cool, like that they can do, because they have different writers, because in this story they actually have different writers that would, I mean, you'd assume that there'd be like five different stories about the house instead of just two, but there were really only two stories. And so yeah, but it is all about family. And did I interrupt you? Go ahead.
No, 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 no. I was just saying that. I mean, the cast in this, you've got the character Trottle, played by Brian Croucher. Great, great character, but also a great actor. He he's most famous for being in Blake Seven,
Uh-huh. The
Doctor Who.
the first of the sergeants or whatever.
It he was the second incarnation of Travis in Blake Seven.
Second Travis. That's right.
The eye patch.
Yeah,
But
the eye
he
patch.
also appeared in Doctor Who in Robots of Death.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so but brilliant actor. He's been in loads of other stuff. But if you're a sci-fi fan, you know him for them sort of things. Um, and he never, when he's acting, he never sort of changes his speaking voice. It's always the same. you know it's
Yes.
Brian. You know it's Brian Croucher.
Uh-huh.
um, Also, you got in here. You got Sam Dale playing Openshaw. Um, Alec McGowan as Jabba.
What a
Um,
name. Like I just kept thinking of why they had this character named Jabba.
not Jabba, Jabba,
What?
Jabba,
Jabber?
Jarber, Jabber,
Oh, Jarber.
like a barber, but Jabber,
Oh,
not Jabber.
right. Sorry.
But yeah,
Yeah.
what else we've got in here? We've got Miranda Keeling, Tracy Wiles, Stephen Critchlow. Quite a few people in this, bringing this tale of dark Victorian secrets to light. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Um, but my favorite section I think was the Mr. Chop section, the going into society.
Uh-huh.
Um, when he won the
The
lottery,
lottery.
£12,000. In
Uh-huh.
them in those days, that was a hell of a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
But his downfall because he wanted to be in society, he put all this stuff behind him. But people took advantage of him and his money.
Yep. And
Um,
it is and his the sad thing was is that even though he was in society had made it to society, people were still looking down on him because of his
Not because of his height.
but because of who he was. And then there's like the next stage of his revelation was is that he was uh he was able to control the crowd better as an entertainer,
Yeah,
as someone outside on the slight fringes of society.
yeah,
So I just think that was really
yeah. It was a
uh,
good that was a good section of the story. I really enjoyed that.
yep, me too.
Also, the ending where I can't say the name. Sofa Nisbet again. So
So finished.
Professor Nisbet, uh, where at the end, because they discover the child in the house,
Uh-huh.
um, she wants to adopt,
Uh-huh.
and she wants to when she's got the house, she's gonna do up the house, make it into a hospital of learning and for children and
with
healthcare and
with disabilities, yeah.
disabilities. Yeah. So the story had a message as
Yeah,
well.
it did. It did. It
Um,
really was quite
I think
profound.
I think back then as well, in whenever this was written, 18, whatever it was, things like that, the healthcare of disability and all that, wasn't thought much of.
No.
You were left to fend for yourself in the streets, or you was in the workhouse.
Yep.
Um, so these authors did have a message. They had a conscience,
Yep.
and going to just the main author, Charles Dickens, all of his stories have got a message of very similar things. Christmas Carol, about greed and being kind and
And
changing your way.
also helping the little boy with the disability.
Yeah, yeah. Tiny Tim was disabled in Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
so, yeah, so it's a lot of a social. It's a social message.
Yep. Good
Uh,
point.
so they would, these people were doing that back then when nobody
Yep.
thought anything of it.
Yep.
So but for me, a good over an hour was well spent listening to this. Um, so for me, Pess, I really want to get the complete collection of Charles Dickens, but
Oh.
I know that's going to be a lot of books.
A lot of books and a lot of bucks too.
Yeah, I mean, forget Shakespeare. I mean,
A lot of
give
nosh.
give us Charles Dickens any day. If I was given the choice, Shakespeare,
Uh-huh.
Dickens, I'd go for.
Wow. And and Lee, I just have to ask, because this
Go on.
story kind of begs the question. What was your response to all of the narration?
Well, there wasn't much of
Okay.
narration.
Okay.
There was the beginning, where the main character was narrating setting up the story, telling us she'd moved into this house, and then the only time she sort of narrated again was where each chapter began. So this is where the omnibus was put together. There was edited together. So
Uh-huh.
I think she narrated each beginning of each episode, apart from the Mr. Chop section, because it was another character who was doing that from the theatre circus side, who was a friend
Uh-huh.
of Mr. Chop. He was
Yeah.
sort of narrating that bit, but didn't do much of that. So I could I could cope with that.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
It's it's when I think when it is. It's when it's just narration all the way through, like somebody somebody just sat in front of a microphone reading chapter from chapter. You know what I mean? I can't do that.
All
That's
right. All right.
that's audio book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me acting any day, not just reading word for word.
All right.
I need to hear the passion in someone's voice in acting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. It was good.
if I wanted to sit down and listen to someone just talk, I'd go and buy the autobiography and I'd hear the voice in my head
Uh-huh.
and just read it that way. But not audio for me, no. But that's just my little thing.
Yeah, and that was I mean, the most important question I could come up with was how did you cope with the narration, because I can tell you really liked this.
Yeah, yeah. The narration wasn't too
Good.
overbearing. It
Good,
was
good.
it was here there. It was sprinkled in.
I think it was there to melt together the different kind of writing styles and stuff, because there were so many different kinds of authors.
Mm-hmm.
They had to have a unifying voice, and I just think that was,
I think that's where the episode started. And
yeah.
so these were where if you listen to the omnibus, you didn't have the breaks in between.
Yeah.
So yeah, a good tale.
Yep. And so, um, anything else? Because yeah, my favorite moments are the moments where where she's trying to scientifically figure out whether or not she'd seen the eye. Like that was like that whole exploration was something else. It was really incredible because that one did get spooky, you
Yeah.
know. And then when they entered the house and uh, yeah, they found all these secret places, of course, because Victorian, you don't go around to other people. You don't go around to people's houses without finding secrets and secret like rooms and stairwells and stuff like that. They just don't. Anyway, that's just fun. Um, and uh, and the child. Oh my gosh. So, what would you give this out of 10? And what would be your final say?
Um, as I said, I like anything related to Dickens, and say he had his hand in this, so
Yeah.
it um it proves how good a writer he was, how good a writer the other three authors were as well. To work alongside Dickens to create this.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think I'll give this. I'm going to give this a 8.5 out of 10.
Oh,
Eight
great.
and a, yeah, 8.5 derelict houses out of 10. Um, it's enjoyable, but there are better works of Dickens out there.
Yeah.
Um, but I wouldn't knock this because it's still a good listen.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8.5 for me, I think. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give this I'll give this a 9 out of 10. Um Basement hiding places and you know who's down there. It's Gerbu. So anyway, uh the hope for the thing with Christmas ghost stories is that they all end up give you some hope for the end.
Hmm.
Like they have a moral and then they give you some hope for the end. And this one gives you some hope that people will respond to people with disabilities and people uh who um have taken a lot of junk on themselves will learn to self-forgive and then that'll take all the pressure out of the metaphysical surroundings, their metaphysical realm around them, so that their houses aren't cursed. And I just think that's really fun. And yeah, I did think that these characters were great. I always love hearing and seeing Warwick Davis. I guess he's about my age. Uh,
Is I think he's same age as me.
yeah, so he's actually a little younger than me then. But anyway, he's a he's really done an awful lot, and now that he's come back to some of the other stuff from the past, it is like Harrison Ford doing the same thing, or
Mhm.
any of his
He's a,
other.
he's a month older than me,
Oh, okay.
so he'll be 53 in February.
Yeah, good for him. And so yeah, we just I just want to celebrate him because he is doing an amazing job on the new Willow, and it's always good to see him and stuff. So
He's
keep
also good at over here. I don't know if you've seen over there, but on UK TV, he hosts a few TV game shows as well.
Hmm,
So,
I didn't know that.
oh yeah, yeah, he's done a few um, like Celebrity Squares and
Oh,
Tenable and stuff like that.
oh wow,
Host.
far out. That's cool. Yeah, the other thing that I saw him in that was really that I really enjoyed was that one Doctor Who episode. I know it was an 11th Doctor one, but he played the Emperor of the world or the universe. He was great at that. So he just gets to do all of the best stuff, and so I think that he is a class act. That yeah. Anyway, goes in my head canon that he and Leia are related. Anyway, so that's just my head canon. There's
Okay.
these are all these head canons that Lee likes to make fun of my head canons, but they're out there, but they are real and they are really impressive.
I
Um,
don't I don't have to make fun of your head canon. You just say it and it's out there.
and it's out there. Oh, great. Anyway, so yeah, let's agree that House to Let is a great story, that Dickens is a great writer, and that these four authors were married in a literary sense in a in a classy way, and and we will rejoin this group later. Yeah. Uh, um, Thanks for watching on YouTube. Please subscribe, hit the bell notification. You hear that?
No,
It's so weird. I'm gonna let me see. No?
no,
Okay, we'll go one more. We'll try one more thing.
no. You might as
No.
well just go. You might as well just go ding.
Ding ding. Oh my
Hooray.
gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just hit the bell notification button, ding ding. And that way you'll get the notifications whenever we turn up.
Sound's gone funny.
Oh, my sound is not funny. Oh dear. Is that
I'll take. Well,
is that better?
correct. That's okay. That one, yeah.
All right. Um yeah, so do join us on social media. Do join us in person if you want to join us and talk about stuff. We're talking to you, Kate Green. We're talking to you, anybody else who we've been talking to for years and years. Romana Schnitzer. Anybody else really? Just give Lee a message and join us. And yeah, please do join us. And then also, all you need is a device, Zoom and microphone and camera, even if you can't hear the bell. And just you got to be over 18, because man, sometimes the shit I say. Oh my god.
Yes.
Really. Anyway, and then the other thing is, yeah, do bring bring your comments to you down there. And then also, yeah, I'd just like to encourage you to if you have any issues, find your local. If you have any issues with disability, find your local center for independent living, because in the United States and Canada, the centers for independent living uh, are where people can find one-on-one mentorship. You can find help with housing, help with your disability application, and help with your Social Security, and balancing that with your work. Uh, find help with transportation, find help with so many other things, and just get in touch with one of those people. Um, if you have any disability, any differing from standard body structure or whatever, just do that, because at our Center for Independent Living, we actually believe that your disabilities are a superpower, because it makes the world more diverse. It gives you a bigger space, just like Lee and I have in the fandom. That we're very diverse people. We're very different from each other, and we're very different from you. And so there's lots of space for us to be superheroes in this. He's Batman, and I'm Wonder Weird over here.
God,
So yeah.
God help us if there was two Susans.
Oh, I know, right?
One's enough.
No, thanks. Oh wow, that's awesome. Anyway, yeah. So do get with us if you want, and yeah, thanks, and have a very Merry Christmas, Lee.
And same to you, Susan.
Thanks for listening to Ghost Stories with me, and we'll rejoin this fun, fabulous podcast after the new year. Okay.
Oh, yes.